အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါကျွန်တော်နာမည်ကတော့ရွှေကပောင်ဖြစ်ပါတယ် Empowering English သင်တန်းလေးမှာ listening and speaking ကိုအသက်အရွယ်20ကနေပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အသက်40 45 50တိပေါ့နော်ဌာနဆိုင်ရာလူကြီးတွေကျွန်တော်တို့ရုံးပိုင်းဆိုင်ရာလူတွေပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီလက်တွေ့စကားပြောပုံစံကိုတည်တံ့တင်ကြားပေးတဲ့ဆရာတယောက်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီဗီဒီယိုထဲမှာ don't lose hope ဆိုတဲ့အကြောင်းနားထောင်မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်နားထောင်ခဲ့တဲ့စိတ်ဝင်စားဖို့ကောင်းတဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီသင်ခန်းစာတွေကတစ်ခုပေါ့နော်ဒီသင်ခန်းစာလေးอ่ะအဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်အင်္ဂလိပ်လိုပြောမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့စကြအောင်ပါ All right, so let's get started. So who should listen? Who should listen to this video? Now in this video, you're going to learn a story about a girl who killed herself in Japan because of zero hope, no hope in her life. You know, sometimes, right, in life, you're feeling hopeless and you do something, but you feel that nothing is improving, right? Nothing seems to work. You also feel yourself, you're just nothing. You think that your life is bad and nothing seems good. You also, when you get on social media, there are a lot of people, you know, talking about success and how you should live your life. Should we envy them? Should we be envious? You know, jealous of their success or whatever they talk about? What do you think? So this is what we learn today in this video, and in the end, right at the end of this video, you will learn how to live your life, and you know I will tell you, you know, how to solve all the problems you have. Before I tell you these, we're going to listen for I guess 6 to 7 minutes of this audio. Don't lose hope. It's a very interesting topic. So you also learn some of the vocabulary. Very interesting vocabulary, right? So let's get started. So I'm going to play. So I'm not pausing, okay? I'm not pausing. We will listen. We'll listen directly. And then I will, of course, also explain what he means, what he talks about, and this is how we do it.
So, a little bit of heavy, serious topic today. And this topic was inspired by actually a couple of things, but one was a story from my wife's extended family. So not like really close, but still a sad story about there's someone in the family and their kind of young teenage daughter killed herself, which was, you know, it's sad, it's tragic, and then, you know, as a parent, it's a terrifying thought and idea, just so sad. And then, you know, I've just then just reading about, you know, this kind of thing happens, you know, where young people especially completely lose hope, and you know, the worst situation, the most sad situation is when they kill themselves, right? But even, you know, even kids that don't,
You know, when we have no hope, right, what do? The better way to solve this problem is we just kill ourselves. We commit suicide. So this is what the teenage girl did. So that's why we should listen. You're maybe feeling hopeless and you think that you don't want to live anymore. And what should we do? Is killing ourselves a solution to all the problems? What do you think?
kill themselves, I know. I'm going to talk about my own story today. Just, you know, I hope that it might be encouraging to some people. But there are a lot of people who just maybe they don't kill themselves, but they are just depressed and sad and miserable for very, very, very long time, and some people people lose hope. A lot of people lose hope because it's very tough. It's very tough. Most of us can handle a bad time, a tough time in life. We expect that. But when the tough time is more than 1 year, it's 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, then it starts to feel like a hopeless situation. And that's where people, when you're miserable and very, very, very unhappy for that long, uh, yeah, it's definitely possible to start losing hope. There's a good word in English, despair. Despair. And despair means that feeling of having no hope at all. Like it's more than just depressed, it's more than sad. Like everybody gets sad. Okay, we have sad things happen in life. That's normal. It's everyone that happens. But despair is when you completely have no hope at all, and it's a very sad situation. I think it's especially tough for younger people because when you're older, one good thing when you're older is that you have more, a bigger view of life, and things go up and things go down, and you have hard times and you have better times. But when you're younger, especially very young, like 13, 14, 15, 18, 20 even, it just feels like forever. If you've been miserable since you were 12, maybe some people have very bad families and very painful family lives. So some people they're sad and have a very hard time right from the beginning. And then they're 12, 13, 15 years old, and it just feels like forever. You can tell them, "Hey, it's going to get better in 5 years," but 5 years feels like forever. Okay? I also know, a lot of my listeners are in the ages of 20s and 30s. And a lot of people get into their 30s. This happens a lot too, where maybe they're 30, 32, 35, and life is still great, and not great, rather, not great. And, maybe their career still isn't going. They're not making much money. Like they just feel like a total failure. And then they start to feel this pressure like it's too late. Oh, I'm already 35. You know, all my friends, my other family members, they've got these great careers, they've got families, everything's going well, and I'm doing nothing. And this is another time where people can really, really, really lose hope. And it's brutal, it's sad, and people do some terrible things when they're miserable and unhappy and when they despair. So my show today is really talking to those people, especially, or anyone else that might know someone like that, and to help you. One second. To help you maybe help someone else as well, right? So first, I'd like to tell kind of story of my own life a little bit when I was young, and the reason I want to tell it is just to show that life can be very, very tough when you're young, and that even when it's bad, it's still possible to change. Right? It's never too late. It's never too late. As long as you're alive, it's not too late. As long as you're alive and your body is functioning and your mind is functioning decently well, it's not too late. So actually, I'm 58 now. So now looking back, I look back and I realize that I was pretty miserable, very unhappy, clueless, confused for pretty much my entire youth, from teenager to through my 20s and through most of my 30s as well. I was bullied, bullied, bullied like crazy, like terribly, in middle school and in high school. And I before that, everything was great. I had a really nice childhood, but my family moved a lot. My dad moved us around because of his job, and when I was middle school age, right at the beginning of middle school, we moved to a different part of the country, and
So I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna jump over to some parts that are important. So a few more minutes and we're done. We're done with listening.
Hope. Don't you've maybe you were bullied. Maybe you are still poor and your career's terrible, you're not making any money. Maybe you are miserable in dating, or what doesn't, if you're a man or a woman and haven't found anyone yet, and every time you try, it's always disappointing and terrible situation, and things go badly. It's not too late, okay? It's not too late. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Don't despair. Because maybe it's when you're 40, maybe it's when you're 50, everything can change. Everything can turn around. And there's some good things about that. Sometimes the other thing I would recommend is don't envy, don't be jealous, don't envy people who have easier lives than you. It's easy to do, but don't do it. Okay? And there's a few reasons to do that, because number one, sometimes people have a very, very easy life in the beginning. Like everything's easy for them when they're young. Let's take a girl, like a girl who's just super gorgeous, like a model, okay? 10 out of 10, super, super beautiful. Yeah, her life is super, super easy when she's a teenager, when she's in her 20s, right? She gets tons of attention from guys, and, men will give her things for free and do anything to date her, and her life is just, everything's easy, easy, easy. She doesn't have to try much to do anything. She doesn't really need to develop a good personality. Nothing. It's all super easy. But if you read up on what happens to them when they get older, and by older I mean like 35, everything changes, because that is a young, young, young person's career. And a lot of these like supermodels, they hit 35, they're already old. They're considered old women, right? They're used to life being easy and men just doing anything for them, and suddenly they're 35, they don't have kids, they're not married yet, and suddenly like everything becomes very hard, and a lot of them can't deal with it because they didn't have hardship earlier. All the hardship you might have in your life, especially when early in life, when you're young, all these problems, being miserable, all these problems will make you stronger. In fact,
So we understand this. So it's time for me to explain what it means and why we are listening to this. It's really important. So the first thing is that if we lose hope, we don't find a better way. We don't find a way out to solve our problem. So first of all, you have to be positive and you have to calm yourself down. You have to be calm first. Because if you're calm, you can make clear decisions, okay? Now, I have been teaching English for, almost 9 years. I have met so many people in my life, and sometimes they have a problem with English and they don't want to learn anymore. Sometimes it's about their career, their job, and sometimes it's about their business. Sometimes it's about family problems. There's so many, and you can also do spiritual things. This is another thing, religious things, of course. If you want to be a spiritual person, praying and just chanting and reciting whatever. The thing is that it also helps, but normal people, we don't have. Some problems happen and we cannot think clearly. All we want to do is just focus on this problem or these problems, and our energy is gone. The more we focus on problems, the more we lose our energy, and therefore we become depressed, hopeless, and we decide to commit suicide, kill ourselves. So he also said that, right? It's never too late to change, right? As long as your body and mind are functioning really well, working really well, decently, you can try again. It's not the end of the world, okay? When I was younger, when younger means like 2017, I had this thought that I just wanted to kill myself because at the time, I quit the job that I hated and I was trying to apply, but then I got no job offers, and I have full family members. So my brother and my mother, they because in our family we have to work. If there's someone who doesn't work, it's really difficult to survive. So and I was jobless, and so they put the pressure on me, and I got depressed, and so it was about 1 year, a total of 1 year, and I was depressed, and I tried 3 times to kill myself, you know, and with the rope right from the ceiling, and but I didn't do it. But I meditated a lot, and I prayed, I chanted mantra, everything I could. Especially what I did mostly was Patan, and I recited Patan a lot. And after 1 year, I think after I eliminated, which means I got rid of bad luck for me, I guess. After 1 year of doing these things, and at that time I was working. I worked again. Everything became better, like magic. I don't know. So that's why when you have a problem, when you also don't forget to do praying, meditations, whatever religion you are in, doesn't matter. Whatever beliefs or faith you have, doesn't matter. You should also follow this spiritual thing, right? And the next thing is that, right? Sometimes you're young, sometimes you're older. Doesn't matter. You can. Uh, Sometimes when we are younger, we don't have much perspective, so that's why we cannot suffer. We cannot feel suffering. We cannot feel bad. So all we want to do is just try to end this. And the way that we end is wrong, which means killing ourselves, right? You have to know this. You're not alone. Everybody has a problem, right? Everybody has different problems in their life. They're not alone, and you're not alone. So you have to also think about this, right? Right. Oswald always tells this, right? You're not alone. You're not the only one suffering. All the problems. There are people out there who are suffering too, like you. Right. So you have to also think like that. The third thing is that sometimes you get on social media, right? You see people and they're successful. Maybe it can be your friends, it can be some people. Sometimes you just need time, okay? As long as you're trying, as long as you're trying, you're moving, you're not stopping, you will get what you want. You will get there like them. But you cannot compare yourself right now because our luck is different. Our fortune is different. But you got to keep doing, good things in your life. And do what you believe in. Keep going. That's why I like the Kaizen method. Kaizen is Japanese way of, it's a Japanese approach, which means that doing something one step at a time or doing something slowly, but you're not stopping, you're moving in the direction of whatever you want. So use the Kaizen methods, right? If you're learning English and you don't think that I'm not improving, well, be patient and keep trying. And improve little by little. Whatever, in business, in your career, even in this tough time, difficult time we have. So use the Kaizen method. Never stop and never quit, okay? If you think that you're carrying like heavy things, well, just maybe reduce a little bit of what you're carrying. But don't stop. Okay, killing yourself is not the only solution. There are many ways to solve. Now do one thing at a time. If you feel that you're I'm heavy, well, do one thing at a time. And don't compare yourself to others. This is really important. Don't envy them and don't be jealous of whatever success they have. That's why I don't recommend using social media so much because yes, it's about their luck. We in our life we have ups and downs. Okay, maybe they're not up, but who knows that? We'll also face downs in our life, right? This is the nature of life. We cannot ignore it. Okay, I had a lot of downs in my life, and you will too. We have ups and downs, right? But we know this. We don't have downs for a long time, right? There are ups, but there's a book actually here. I like this. I forgot actually. This is the book here. I think you can see it. Translated. It's really good. The way that he translates and the messages are really good in here. Right? The last lecture. Very good. Now, I like this quote, the saying that. Actually, I forgot. 1 second. Let me get the book. Oh my god, there we go. It's really great. I like it. That's why I wrote it down. What does that mean? Oh, here we go. Luck is what happens when preparation meets. So you don't know, right, when good luck happens or where it happened, but you have to prepare. You have to keep doing what you are doing. You have to believe in yourself. But then when an opportunity comes and you're preparing, you're ready, and that they meet, that's called good luck. So good luck doesn't happen like magic. You also have to try so hard and doing whatever you can every day slowly, doesn't matter, as long as you're not stopping. As I said, you are improving. Compare yourself to other people who are stopping. You are improving. Okay, whatever, learning English, doing your job, starting your own business, whatever. So luck happens when preparation meets, which means that you are preparing to, you're learning to, you're doing something, but then boom, an opportunity comes. What happens? They meet, and people say, oh no, you're rich, or you're successful, you're doing really well, right? Now there are so many people on social media. Maybe they're younger, they're old, doesn't matter. They also do something good. They keep doing, right? They have mental discipline, right? Mental discipline. And when opportunities come and your preparation, right, your discipline, your effort, they're going to meet this opportunity, boom, magic happens. This is life. So, I can speak English. People, oh, sir, you're lucky. Oh, you have a smooth business. Decent. You're lucky. No, I wasn't lucky, actually. I put a lot of effort. I had ups and downs in my life. When I had downs, I was depressed. And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't sleep, Who knows that? There are so many people, they faced, like me, so many problems, and they could not sleep, but they kept going. Okay, so don't lose hope. All right. So finally, right, vocabulary. He mentions a couple things. The written English, the kind of English that you see in textbooks or whatever, a couple of things, right? A couple means two, right? So he also mentioned that. If you don't understand this audio, go and listen to it again, or you can play this video again. Extended family means right, like like this. A couple things means two. But they don't say a couple of things. Only you can see in written English a couple of things. Hey, I have a couple of things. But the native speaker, usually they break statements or words into pieces and they make it shorter. I don't know why. Casual, I guess. A couple of things. So I have a couple of months to study. We don't say that. Hey, I have a couple months to study. Inspire means encourage you, basically. So he said that I was inspired by a story about a Japanese girl. He said, inspire me. Like this, inspire. Tragic. Right? Terrifying. Tough means difficult. Tough. Tough, right? Tough. despair လက်မိုင်ချမျောလင့်ချက်တွေပြတ်သုံးစိတ်ပြက်လက်ပြတ်ဖြစ်တယ် right it's a verb brutal he said that word brutal is an adjective yes is ကြမ်းကြုတ်တာ right yes ဖြစ်တာ all right miserable means စိတ်ဆင်းရဲ miserable we say that and envy means like jealous basically envy is a word envious is the adjective envious gorgeous very beautiful လွန်ချောတာ hardship okay right so finally he mentioned that right in the end of this audio he mentioned that you see that there are some people who are having good luck who are doing pretty well and you compare yourself to I'm not doing well I try but nothing seems to work have faith in yourself believe in yourself right things happen you have to prepare okay you have to keep doing what you're doing as I said okay do not lose hope okay never whatever happens in your life bad things good things doesn't matter never lose your hope if you as long as you are holding onto this hope whatever hope you have keep going it will happen you're preparing and then opportunities come and whatever doesn't matter right don't drop it right please hold on to whatever hope you're having don't drop it okay and you will get there doesn't matter how fast you go how slow you go as long as you're going you're moving in your direction right you will get what you want right so you think that there are some people everybody has okay even rich people okay guys they have a problem there's a time or there's gonna be time where they feel hopeless where they feel depressed and they also maybe think of bad things so good luck with your learning and one message finally from me never ever complain never ever complain and prepare improve yourself every day use the Kaizen method improve slowly and one thing at a time don't stop don't lose hope and then good luck will happen to you bye for now if you want to join one of my courses if you like the way I speak and I'm here to help I'm happy to help we have only two courses one is beginner course which will take you 6 months the other one is intermediate course which will take you 8 months we discuss a lot and I teach you a lot of things we will discuss these kind of heavy big topics of course so if you're interested if you like the way I teach or speak you can join good luck with your learning bye for now